What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another stimulus update. If you thought the $1,400 stimulus checks, the $300 per week in unemployment benefits, the $3,000 and $3,600 child tax credits, the rental assistance, nutrition assistance, and all that was great, but we were never going to get anything else as far as relief, then you were wrong. Right now, we have Democrats that are pushing for bigger and bolder legislation, and they want to do this once again. They already did this in the $1.9 trillion stimulus package, which they passed through a budget reconciliation. However, some are saying right now they want more. Right now, we know that Democrats are calling for $2,000 per month in a recurring stimulus check. They want a permanent tax credit, not just for 1 year, which is where it currently stands. They want to see student loan forgiveness of possibly up to $50,000. This is something that the progressives are really pushing as well, $50,000 in student loan forgiveness. However, President Biden has stated he would go to $10,000 per student. We also know that as of yesterday, there's a Medicare for All bill that actually has a number. I think it's like HR 1976 or something like that. I don't know the exact number, but it does have a bill number, which means it's progressing. We are seeing this, and right now there's over 50% of the Democrats within the House have actually signed on to support this Medicare for All bill. We know President Biden wants to see a up to $15,000 home buyer credit for first-time home buyers. That is another big thing, and Republicans are kind of pushing back on that. We know there's going to be bold legislation for infrastructure, and Democrats say they want to get bipartisan support on this bill, but some Republicans say that no, it's going to be almost impossible because of the amount of money Democrats want to spend. And then we also know Democrats want to have multiple wealth taxes in here as well. Some for the larger corporations, some for the owners, and some for the CEO pay as well. So there's a lot of stuff going back and forth amongst Republicans and Democrats. But many experts believe that right now what Democrats are asking for is not that much. They aren't putting things out there that are inconceivable, that are never going to happen. These are all things that experts believe could happen and will eventually happen if President Biden does push for these things. Right now, some experts are saying that what we see in President Biden's Build Back Better plan is most likely going to pass. So here's what we know. When President Biden outlined or did his framework, when he first came into office, what we knew was, okay, this is good, $1.9 trillion. Now let's see how far either progressives push this up or see how far Republicans pull this back down. Well, in the end, it passed exactly as President Biden outlined it. And so that is exactly what experts are currently saying about President Biden's Build Back Better plan, is when we see this come out, how is it going to look and what will be included? And all this is extremely important because what we know is if President Biden is very thoughtful about how he plans out his bills, which happened in the last $1.9 trillion stimulus package, then yes, exactly how the bill is outlined is most likely how it will eventually pass. So, some Democrats do say they do not want to see another misstep like what happened with former President Barack Obama back in 2009. There was a lot of issues back then. Even though former President Obama passed a stimulus package back then of a little bit over $800 billion, it wasn't enough, and he didn't go in really educate the public on what was there for them. So this is one thing Democrats say they will not do. They've learned from this mistake, which is one of the reasons why they are passing big, bold legislation. And according to House Democratic Caucus Chairman Hakeem Jeffries, he says, and I quote, "Our standard for bipartisanship can no longer be what happens here in the Capitol, because we know that the strategy of my colleagues legislatively is not to try and find common ground. It's obstruction and mischaracterization. They ran this playbook back during the Obama administration. They are running the same playbook again." And, trying to be right in the middle here, But yes, there are some things that Republicans are doing right now to obstruct any bill to pass, which is kind of what they did with the $1.9 trillion stimulus package. It happened, it pushed it back about a day, but eventually it passed. So yes, he is right here. What I can tell you though is even though Republicans and Democrats are fighting, they have had bipartisan support. So it's not like there's nothing that they currently agree on. They agreed on the $1,400 stimulus checks. However, Republicans, yes, they agreed and they want to go to people that were negatively impacted by this pandemic. However, Democrats said, no, let's give it to everybody and then put a cap on who could receive it. However, at this time, many are still waiting on their stimulus checks. I even had a person reach out to me this morning saying that she checked again on the IRS Get My Payment portal and it still does not show any new information. And the hard part about this is that if there's no new information, you only need to check once per day because the IRS only updates their system once per day. So if you checked already and there's no new information, there's no point and no reason to even check again later on today. Wait until tomorrow. The hard part is right now that even though some people are getting their checks, and a lot of people are like, well, my cousin got her check, so I should be getting mine. We file our taxes right about the same time. And honestly, that makes absolutely no difference. The IRS doesn't care. Okay, so even though your family members are getting stimulus checks does not mean you are going to get one at this time. Just because somebody in your city is getting a stimulus check doesn't mean you are going to get one as well. Just because you file your taxes around the same time as another individual does not mean when they get their stimulus check, you will get yours. It doesn't work like that. So I just want to kind of reiterate this, but right now, a lot of people are saying that yes, they're getting some of their stimulus money, but they're not getting all of it. Okay. Now, the IRS says you need to contact your bank because the bank should have more information on why they only released half of your payments. And then the banks are telling people, no, contact the IRS because they only sent us half of that money. But here's what I can tell you. If you want any answers, and I asked a couple people yesterday as well that actually work for banks, they say do not contact your local bank. You have to contact the headquarters. Don't contact the local bank because the people at the local bank are only going to know what it says on your account, which is essentially what you are already getting if you check your account online. So don't call your local bank because they will be absolutely no help. You actually have to call a headquarters. You have to talk to somebody that's higher up that can get more information. Your local bank is not going to be able to do that for you at this time. Now, we did hear that the IRS will have more answers for us and more updates for us later on this week. Hopefully, it will be good updates, but we will see. We also know paper checks are going to begin to come out this week. They already sent the first batch of paper checks, I think about 150,000 checks last week. I haven't heard any reports of anybody getting those checks yet, but again, they do come through the United States Postal Service, and those that do use the United States Postal Service are still saying they are a little bit slow. We have reports indicating that the prepaid debit cards will also be sent out sometime later on this week and also next week. They are supposed to come out next week. However, according to reports, they say that these will most likely start this week, which would be good, which would mean many people, millions of people, the majority of Americans will have their stimulus check before the end of this month. And that is exactly what President Biden and the Biden administration have said they want to do. We are still waiting on more answers regarding the child tax credits. The IRS has stated that there is a good possibility, this isn't great news, but there is a good possibility that these child tax credits will not begin their payments in July. That's when they're supposed to start. However, due to the fact that the tax filing season got pushed back 1 month until May 17th, it ultimately delays the IRS. We also know that the IRS has stated that they were already behind, and in addition to being behind, trying to put together a new platform, new portal for people to input their information for the child tax credit, in addition to that, doing a monthly payment is something that they say is going to be very difficult to implement. So we might see this start possibly in August, but maybe in September. And then we might get a payment in September and maybe in December. That's kind of what we're hearing at this point. So that would be just 2 payments instead of monthly payments, or instead of 6 payments over the course of about 6 months. So we know that some states are already planning on sending out the unemployment boost for anybody that's on unemployment benefits, and that's going to start this week. So that is good news. However, other states, including California, have stated they are falling a little bit behind, and we could see a 2-week delay. We know some states have already begun issuing the rental assistance, so that is good there. But there's still a lot of states, a lot of counties that haven't yet put together their portal so you can go and even apply for rental assistance through them. So that is the bad news in regards to that. We do know that SNAP benefits still has an increase of 15% until September. So if you do need any help with nutrition, then you should really go and apply. There's also pandemic EBT, which was extended as well. If you don't know what this is different from SNAP benefits. Pandemic EBT benefits will be just like nutrition assistance. Well, it is nutrition assistance. However, it's for people that have any school-age children or younger. So if your children qualify for free or reduced meals at school, then yes, you automatically qualify. So it's very easy to do. Just go and type into Google pandemic EBT and you can get all your information there. And while all this relief is available to the American people, many still don't know how to get it. Okay? And here's the issue. And this is what I've been saying for a while, is a lot of people didn't know how to go and apply for a business loan. But even though the PPP was out there, you can go and get this money, you can help fund your business, and a lot of it was forgivable. People didn't know how to do it. People didn't know how to go and get an EIDL loan and get the 100% free advance money. People didn't know how to do that. And so here's what I want you to do. First off, the Biden administration has said that they want to help educate the American people on what is available to them and where they can go and get it. However, they haven't really done that at this point, and most are expecting by the time they go and do this, it's going to be too late. Many people will already be going hungry, they will be evicted from their homes, or they can't get the PPP money because they didn't know it previously existed. So, what I can tell you is former President Barack Obama, he did not do this. The Obama administration did not do this. They didn't go and educate the American people, and Democrats say that is their plan. They want to see this get executed as quickly as possible because if people don't know what is available to them, they won't be able to go and get it. But here's what I want you to do. Anytime there's anything that you have a question on, just ask down in the comment section below. I use those questions to create any future videos because I know what you guys are asking, that's the stuff that you want me to cover. So if I don't answer your question directly in the comments, make sure you come back and watch the next video because I might be answering it in that video. Now, in other news, and this is actually pretty good news, AstraZeneca's vaccine now shows a 79% efficacy rate against symptomatic disease and a 100% efficacy rate against severe disease and hospitalization. That is actually pretty good. And I say this is good because earlier this month, AstraZeneca's vaccine was halted. It was temporarily suspended in Europe because there were reports of blood clots in patients after inoculation. So that is actually very good. However, health experts are currently warning us here in the United States that even though we've been in this pandemic for over 1 year, many people are still walking around wearing a mask underneath their nose or even just on their chin. They say that it is very difficult to get out of this situation and that we should hopefully know how to wear a mask after 1 year of wearing it. So that is what we know right now. As always, as I know more, I promise I'll come back and share more. Just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful Monday, and I'll see you guys on the next one.